What happened last night?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I really don't. I just want to go to sleep and go to sleep. Oh.
Well, you remembered Heather hitting you in the eye, right?
I don't remember after that because I just went to lay down and try to go to sleep.
Alright.
I don't know what anybody was doing. I really don't.
Who was in the house when you went to sleep?
Christina and Heather.
Christina and Heather.
Mm.
Okay. And Christina was on the couch?
Heather was.
Heather was on the couch. You told me Christina was on the couch just a minute ago.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't.
You just don't know?
I really don't, man.
Or you don't want to tell me?
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I just want to go and go to sleep, man.
Well, Ryan, you're not going to go anywhere.
20-year-old Ryan Waller and his 21-year-old girlfriend Heather Kwan had been dating for 8 months. Though Ryan had just finished high school and Heather was still in college, the couple decided they were ready to take the next step and live together. The couple, along with another friend/roommate Alicia, found an apartment in Phoenix, Arizona they could rent. On December 23, 2006, Ryan and his girlfriend Heather were in the house for the rest of the night until they heard a knock at the back door. Ryan got up to answer the door and had it only opened up just a little bit when he saw a gun being pointed directly in his face. He quickly pushed himself against the door trying to keep the intruders out, but was shot in the face. 2 men, Richie Carver, Ryan's former roommate, and his dad Larry Carver then entered the apartment and shot Ryan in the face once again. Then they turned and shot Ryan's girlfriend Heather in the head, which killed her instantly. The men quickly looked through the house and just before leaving, grabbed their weapons, some electronic devices and a guitar, and then fled from the apartment, thinking they had killed both Ryan and Heather, but they were very wrong. Ryan and Heather were supposed to attend his family Christmas dinner, but his parents became concerned when they didn't show up. Ryan's parents tried calling his phone but couldn't get an answer and knew that something was wrong. Ryan's parents then decided to drive over to the apartment, hoping someone would answer the door, but once again, no one answered. Finally, Ryan's dad decided it was time to call the police to figure out what was going on. The police got to the apartment around midnight, and they thought they could see a body through the window, but weren't sure. Police decided to wait until they could get a search warrant before going in. A little later, Heather and Ryan's other roommate Alicia had just gotten home. She didn't notice anything out of the ordinary and went to her room. The police finally returned with a search warrant and Alicia let them in. As police searched the apartment, they found Heather had been shot and killed. Ryan was wounded and from what cops could see, he had a swollen black eye. Cops put Ryan in the back of a cop car while they continued their search. Shortly after medics arrived, they checked on Heather to confirm and figure out how she had been killed. The whole time, Ryan was left sitting in the back of the police car and never received medical attention. After the cops were done, Ryan was arrested for suspicion of murder and taken to the police department for questioning. 30 minutes later, cops finally came in to start taking pictures of his injuries. Ryan told the detectives that he had been shot in the eye, but the detective rolled his eyes and said, "If you had been shot in the eye, then you wouldn't be sitting here. You would be dead."
What happened to your face?
I don't know.
You told the officer just a few minutes ago that someone hit you. Do you remember who hit you?
I don't know. I think it was Heather.
Why would Heather hit you?
I don't know. It was an accident. I forgot why.
What was an accident?
Heather's last name?
No. What was an accident?
Heather hitting me.
What did she hit you with?
Her hand in the eye.
Did you guys have an argument?
Not really, no.
Not really?
Uh-uh.
What happened for her to hit you in the eye like that?
She just hit me on accident. She was giving Christina a head.
She was what?
She was helping Christina with her hair or something, I don't know.
It is very clear from the start that when Ryan responds to Detective Dalton's questions, he is confused and having a hard time understanding what's being said. When asked what happened that night, Ryan says he doesn't know, and his words don't make sense. He could be experiencing some type of memory loss due to the gunshot wounds he received, but detectives and officers still don't believe him and proceed to question him.
Do you know Alicia? You don't know Alicia? She lives at your house? You know a guy named Eric? What's Eric's last name?
He's trying to pay me back. Green something.
His last name is Green something? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Where's Eric right now?
I don't know.
At the time, Alicia was both Heather and Ryan's friend and roommate. The three had been living in an apartment together for only a couple of months. When the detective asked Ryan if he knew who Alicia was and he responded no, this should have been one of the first out of many red flags, but instead the detective just shook his head at Ryan's answer.
Do you know what happened in your house last night? Is that house yours? Yours or your parents'?
Mine.
You bought that house? Okay.
Why, what happened?
I don't know what happened. You're all beat up, right? So tell me what happened.
I don't know. I just want to go to sleep, man. That's it.
Detective Dalton asked Ryan once again, "Do you know what happened at your house last night?" Ryan responded with, "I don't know," but has now become curious as to what happened at his house.
Remember what happened to your nose? There's a big chunk out of your nose.
I don't know.
Someone grab you? Were you fighting with somebody?
No, I need to go. I need to go back to sleep, man. I'm just tired, man. That's it. Didn't even do anything. I just want to go to sleep.
You remember what time this happened? Your eye?
Like 1? Or maybe earlier? I don't know. I don't know.
Ryan still has no memory of how he got injured, who injured him, or what happened at his house, and possibly may not remember the moment that Heather has been shot and killed. Because of the gunshot wound, Ryan has gone back and forth trying to remember who hurt him. He has now listed Heather and Alicia as the ones who have hit him in the eye.
Do you know Eric's girlfriend?
Yeah?
What's her name?
Heather?
Eric's girlfriend's Heather? Okay. Alicia, the girl that lives in your house. Do you know who she is? Okay.
Yeah, what about her?
Do you remember what time she came home last night?
Not really, why?
I'm just asking.
I don't. I really don't.
Though Ryan and Heather have been dating for 8 months, due to the gunshot wound in the face, he has gotten confused and tells Detective Dalton that Heather and Eric are together. Ryan's memory is not the best, but he should be able to remember who his girlfriend is. This is also a red flag Detective Dalton should have noticed, but continues to think Ryan is lying.
She said when she came home last night, your eye was already like that. Do you remember letting her in the house?
I think so.
Was your eye already screwed up like that?
It was later in the night after she got back. So like 2 in the morning, I was already sleeping though.
So she got back at 2 in the morning?
Yeah, I don't know from where.
Okay.
Alicia arrived back home at 9:30. She knocked and Ryan answered the door, letting her in. She noticed Ryan's black eye, but other than that didn't notice anything else out of the ordinary. Nor did she see Heather anywhere and went straight to her room.
Hey, Ryan?
Huh?
There's a dead girl in your living room.
She's dead?
Yes.
Heather?
I don't know. I want to know what happened in your house last night.
The girl on the couch is dead?
I don't know. If she's on the couch, she's dead.
Well, these people came over, Richie and his dad, with shoot and arrow, bow and darts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They hit me and her with those. That's it. And Heather wasn't there. And Eric wasn't there. It was just me and Heather was there.
You and Heather were there. And then what happened?
And that's it. Richie and his dad tried to break in through the back.
Detective Dalton thinks Ryan is making up stories to keep from getting in trouble, but Ryan has just gotten confused again. He told Detective Dalton that Richie and his dad broke in and shot him and Heather with bows and arrows. Since Ryan's injury may be causing some short-term memory loss, Detective Dalton tells Ryan that Heather has been killed. But now, how? Though he's still confused, at this point Ryan is able to remember a little more, and tells Detective Dalton that Richie and his dad broke in through the back door and had bows and arrows.
Richie and his dad, they hit you?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're trying to get their stuff. I don't know why.
And they had some kind of bow and arrows?
Mm-hmm. They each had 2 revolvers and they didn't let off any shells.
Okay, you just said they had bow and arrows. Now they have revolvers?
That's what I meant. They had revolvers.
They have revolvers?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then they shot us with those.
They shot both of you?
Yeah.
Where'd they shoot you at?
I got shot in the eye.
You got shot in the eye.
I think so.
With a revolver.
I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. Fuck.
Then what happened?
I don't know.
As Detective Dalton has continued to ask Ryan what happened the night before, he has increasingly become more and more frustrated, confused, and stressed. He has now been told by Detective Dalton that not only is his girlfriend Heather dead, but that it looks like Ryan was the one who shot her. Ryan has tried all night to answer the questions he's been asked. He's not purposely making up different stories, he's just very confused, which is another continuous red flag that's being overlooked.
Did you shoot Heather?
Mm-mm.
I heard you have a lot of guns in your house.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Well, you know we're gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, why don't you tell me what really happened there? Because I don't believe...
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know. I can tell you anything, I swear.
Well, I want you to tell me the truth. That's all I want from
Richie
you.
and his dad came there. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why, but they put me in sleeping hold. And, like, they put me in sleeping hold with the arrows and shit. Like, I lived through that crap.
Okay, they put you in a sleeping hold?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, man.
After police arrived back at the apartment with the search warrant, Alicia let them in. Ryan had a black eye and Heather was dead, so it looked as if they had an argument. Heather hit Ryan, and then he shot her. The fire department arrives to check on Heather while Ryan is put in the back of a police car. While investigators were searching the apartment, they noticed Ryan had multiple guns of his own. They've automatically decided that Ryan has most likely shot Heather and continue to ask him what happened, even though he still can't remember everything. He does have some memory now of Richie and his dad putting him into a sleeper hold, which may have caused Ryan to pass out. Upon waking back up, he saw Heather and thought she was sleeping.
What happened to Heather?
Heather got shot.
Where did she get shot?
Inside the face once.
She got shot inside of the face?
Mm-hmm.
How close were you to her when she got shot in the face?
It was after I got shot, so I didn't even hear anything.
So you got shot first?
Uh-huh.
And what happened? Did you fall to the ground?
Yeah, I was trying to get up and shit, and I couldn't. I don't know.
And then she got shot?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Did you call 911?
Uh-uh.
Did you see if she was alive?
She was sleeping still, and that's it. I just let her sleep.
She got shot in the side of the face, and you let her sleep?
Yes.
This does not make sense, Ryan.
I know, I didn't mean to, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was passing out. That's because I got shot wrong once, too, and I was gonna pass out.
Ryan had been out in a sleeping hold by Richie or his dad and passed out. After waking back up, he didn't remember what happened to him or Heather. What he did know was that he saw Heather laying down, which he assumed she was asleep, and he didn't want to wake her up. Since he had no memory from the night before due to the gunshot wound, he didn't call 911. Ryan knew he was very tired and decided he was going to lay down to try and sleep.
Ryan, you need to start telling me the truth, because your story doesn't make sense.
I'm trying, man. I don't know. Just ask me anything and I'll tell you the truth. Just ask me.
Well, I'm trying to, and you're not even coming close to the truth.
Go ahead, ask me.
What happened with you and Heather last night?
Her dad came and shot the house.
And shot her.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad. Now, Richie is her dad?
Mm-hmm.
Or Richie's her brother?
Yeah, her dad.
Her dad shot her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do?
I tried to go back to sleep.
After you've been shot
Mm-hmm.
in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know enough to call 911.
Mm-mm.
Why did you call 911?
Because I was just trying to go to sleep. That's it.
You just saw Richie's and his dad shoot your girlfriend, and you just felt like you needed to go to sleep?
Something like that. I don't know, man. I really don't.
Ryan has gotten confused again and says that Richie is Heather's brother. Detective Dalton still is not believing anything Ryan says. He continues to think he's lying and not cooperating. Ryan's injury has caused him some serious memory loss in the last couple of hours. After Heather and Ryan had been shot, he passed out, and upon waking back up, he thought Heather was sleeping and didn't want to wake her up, so he didn't think to call 911.
Did you shoot Heather, Ryan?
I didn't shoot Heather. She was already shot once by her brother, I swear.
Richie.
Yes.
Richie shot his own sister.
Yes, I swear. That's it.
Detective Dalton still thinks Ryan is lying and that he really shot Heather. Though Ryan has been telling the truth, he's still getting confused, and his sentences haven't been making any sense. He thinks that Richie and Heather are siblings. This is due to the gunshot wound. He not only probably has a head injury, but he is also tired and wants to go to sleep, hoping he'll feel better after getting some rest.
Oh, my head hurts. Okay.
Be right back.
Ryan mentioned previously that he was going to pass out and has now said that his head is hurting. The detective scoots closer so he can look at Ryan's face and head better. After looking for a moment, the detective gets a strange look on his face and then tells Ryan he'll come back, and Ryan is left alone for 3 minutes.
Hey, Ryan?
Yes?
I got the fire department coming to take a look at it. They're going to probably take you to the hospital.
You taking me to the hospital?
Yeah, we're going to take you to the hospital.
Why?
Well, if you've seen your face and the way you're doing things, it doesn't make sense right now, okay? We're just going to make sure you're okay.
I just want to go back to bed, man.
Well, that's the problem. If you have some kind of head injury, you shouldn't be sleeping, okay?
After Detective Dalton looked closer at Ryan's injuries, he now sees what may be an enter and exit wound from a bullet. His whole entire attitude has changed quickly, because he knows Ryan wasn't lying, that he's actually just been confused this whole time. Though just the night before, Ryan Waller had been shot in the face twice. He sat in the back of a police car for almost 4 hours, and then was interrogated by Detective Dalton for 6 hours. The whole time, Ryan didn't receive any medical attention whatsoever. Because of this, he constantly became frustrated, stressed out, and his pain continued to get worse. Detective Dalton asked Ryan multiple questions during the interview, such as, what happened at your house? Who shot Heather? Who hit you, etc. Because of Ryan's injuries, he was very confused and couldn't make sense of his sentences. Ryan repeatedly said he was tired and wanted to go to sleep, making Detective Dalton think he was lying. Ryan was interrogated for 6 hours before finally being taken to the hospital to receive medical attention. Once his parents had arrived at the hospital, doctors told them that with the injuries he had, his condition was critical. Ryan was in critical condition for 35 days. 7 months later, Ryan finally healed from all his injuries and was able to leave the hospital. When the bullet hit Ryan, it tore a chunk out of his skull, punctured his sinus bone and brain. Due to the prolonged interrogation before receiving any medical attention, Ryan lost part of his brain and went blind in his left eye. He would depend on his parents and continue to have seizures for the rest of his life. Ryan Waller sadly passed away from a seizure due to his injuries. Doctors said this could have been avoided if he had received medical attention in a timely manner. Not long after Ryan was able to leave the hospital, Richie Carver was arrested and taken into custody. Richie was found guilty by the jury for felony murder, burglary, assault with great bodily injury, and a misconduct with a weapon. He was sentenced to life without parole in 2008. 5 years later, Larry Carver was also arrested and found guilty for first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, burglary, and aggravated assault. On January 25, 2013, Larry was given a life sentence with no chance for parole.